Hello, we're going to be looking at what a quadrilateral is today, 3.6a, 3.6b. Let's start by reviewing the Polygon family tree. In the Polygon family tree, and remember, a polygon is a closed figure made up of straight lines. And they're always 2D figures. Polygons are always 2D, which means they are flat. All of these shapes in the Polygon family tree are polygons. So triangles have 3 sides. Now in 3rd grade, you don't have to know all the special names of the triangles. You'll learn that later in 4th and 5th grade. So you don't have to know all these types. You just have to know that a triangle has 3 sides. Now a big part of 3rd grade though are the quadrilaterals. That is a really, really big part of 3rd grade. A quadrilateral has 4 sides, and there's different kinds of quadrilaterals, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. 4 sides. So we have a trapezoid. It has 4 sides, and all the rest of these are called parallelograms. In order for a parallelogram to be a parallelogram, it has to have 2 pairs of parallel lines. Now, parallel lines are lines that never ever cross. They just keep going. They never intersect with each other. So a rhombus is a parallelogram, a rectangle is a parallelogram, and a square is a parallelogram. All these have many special names. You can call them a polygon, you can call them a 2D figure, you can call them a quadrilateral, and you can call them a parallelogram. The trapezoid is the only one here in this family tree that is not a parallelogram. And the reason being is because it only has 1 pair of parallel lines. The trapezoid right here, these are parallel, but if you notice these, if you keep going with these 2 sides, what will happen? They'll intersect right here. And the other ones will not. See, these will not intersect. These are parallel, and then these are parallel. These are parallel to each other, and these are parallel to each other. Yeah, even if you keep going, they will not intersect each other. These are parallel, and these are parallel. And the rest in the family tree are the rest of the polygons. Pentagon has 5 sides. The word penta means 5. Hexa means 6. Hepta means 7. Octa and octagon means 8. Nona and nonagon means 9. And decagon and deca right here means 10. Just like there's 10 years in a decade. And just like an octopus has 8 legs, an octagon has 8 sides. Okay, those are all those root words in there to learn. Okay, so let's take a closer look at our quadrilateral family tree. These are all quadrilaterals, okay? They all have 4 sides. 4 sides. So the quadrilateral family tree, if you notice, the trapezoid is here by itself. And that's because, remember, it is not parallel. Parallel lines are lines that don't cross. This is a parallelogram, and these are each parallelograms. So we're going to take a closer look on the document camera. And I'm going to show you examples using ang legs. These are called ang legs. And they come apart. And you snap them together, and it creates different figures. So here is a parallelogram. It can be like this, or it can be like that. So here's an example. This is a square. A square is a parallelogram because these are parallel and these are parallel. They'll never cross each other. These will never cross and these will never cross. This is called the parallelogram, and it's a square. And if you notice, a square has all congruent sides. That means they're all the same. They measure the same. And it has square corners. Each corner makes a square, a 90-degree angle. Okay, we have a rectangle next, and this is also a parallelogram because these are parallel and these are parallel. Now, a square and a rectangle are a little different, being because the rectangle is not made up of congruent sides. These are congruent. These are the same. And these are the same, but they're not all the same with each other. But it does have square corners. Okay, then we have a rhombus. A rhombus is the other one that is also a parallelogram. Okay, if you notice, and if you turn it, it looks like a parallelogram because it's a parallelogram. If we tighten it up like this, it's a square. A rhombus is a lot like a square, but it doesn't have the square corners. But, and there's another video that I'm going to that you can see later, but every square is a rhombus, but not every rhombus is a square. I know that can sound kind of tricky. I'll say it again. Every square is a rhombus. If I turn it like this, it's still a square, but it's also a rhombus. But not every rhombus is a square, because a rhombus can look like this, but it can also look like this. Okay, every square is a rhombus, but not every rhombus is a square. Okay, then we have the last quadrilateral is a trapezoid. And the trapezoid is not a parallelogram. And that is because, remember, we said that these are parallel to each other. They're parallel, that means they will not cross. But these are not parallel. And that's because if we were to keep going, these will cross eventually. Those will intersect. So those are not parallel to each other. Okay, let's go back and do a couple of questions together. Okay, this one says, while riding to school with his mother, Paul noticed that these traffic signs all share an attribute. Now, the word attribute is like a characteristic. It describes it. What attribute do all the signs share? Well, let's label how many sides they have. What kind of figure is this? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 sides, so it is called an octagon. This has 1, 2, 3 sides, so that's called a triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides, so we know it's a quadrilateral. What kind of quadrilateral could that be? We can call that a square or a rhombus. It can be either. Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's called a pentagon. Remember, if it has 5 sides, it is called a pentagon. So what attribute do all these signs share? The signs are all triangles. Is that true? No, we only have one triangle. That is false. That cannot be it. The signs are all quadrilaterals. What does a quadrilateral mean? 4 sides. Well, do they all have 4 sides? No, only one of them has 4 sides. False. The signs are all parallelogram. No, we only have actually one parallelogram. Only that one. So that's false. The signs are all polygons. Remember, polygons means, the word poly means many and gons means angles. So that literally means many angles or many sides. A polygon is a 2D figure or a flat figure made up of straight line segments. And all of these are flat, they're all 2D, and they're made up of line segments. All of these are polygons. So the correct answer is this one. This was the true answer. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. Which is not true. When it says not true, that means you're looking for the false one. Not true means false. Which is not true of this square? Okay, well, we know that's a square. They already told us it's a square. It's a quadrilateral, has 4 sides, and it's a polygon, 2D figure. The figure is a quadrilateral, true or false? We know that's true. It has 4 sides. So we're looking for the false one, so it can't be that one. The figure is a rhombus, true or false? That is true. Remember we said every square is also a rhombus, but not every rhombus is a square. So that is true. The figure is a rectangle. What do you think about that one? And I'm not sure if you learned this yet, but All squares are rectangles, but a rectangle is not always a square. And that's because in order for it to be a square, it has to have congruent sides and 90-degree angles. A rectangle has 90-degree angles, but all the sides are not congruent. So this one is true. The opposite corners of the figure do not form square corners. Actually, they do. All of them form square corners. They're all right angles. And they put that they do not. So that's false because they do. So this is a false one. Okay, that's it for today. We will see you next time.